Sorry about that. There's my dog. Okay, welcome back to Jam Crypto. That wasn't a good start, but anyways, today we're gonna talk about Bitcoin, and also very importantly, we're gonna talk about security. The reason why I would start with security in this live stream, well, is because that actually over the weekend I got hacked. So money being stolen from my MetaMask, and they took my X account. So I didn't really enjoy that, of course, but there are mistakes that I've done. So hopefully by sharing it, like being fully transparent to you guys, then you guys could avoid the mistakes I did. So we're going to talk about that. But first of all, we have to talk about Bitcoin first, because Bitcoin is doing something very interesting at the moment. So Bitcoin right now is sitting at 110K. So over the past few days, so like past 3 days, we have a little pump. Looks like we found bottom at 107K and all the way to 112K. So a 5% pump. Obviously, it was just like a week. We didn't close at 112K. But what I find it interesting is that if you actually look at the level around 107K, this is a critical level that I'm eyeing on. Well, first of all, because like you see like daily candles actually wick and touched 107K and bounce back up. So it shows that there is major like trading volume around 107K. And also if you zoom out, there's a lot of price action around 107K. So it's acting a little bit like a resistance back in May earlier this year, and also resistance here, support and resistance basically. So this is only on the daily. However, I don't think we are out of the wood yet, because first of all, usually Bitcoin doesn't perform the best in September. So August and September, we usually have weak months for Bitcoin return. So I keep talking about that in my live stream. Like I always pull out this chart. So in August, which I kind of predicted in the beginning of August, because I talk about that on my channel, so on Champion Crypto, that we are likely to see a negative number in August, which we did, so a -6%. And for September, like September, usually not the strongest for Bitcoin either. 8 months out of 12 months will end up a decline number, a red number, red September. Let's see if it plays out. I'm kind of in the middle, because in August, we already have a decline number. So we close with a red August. So September, let's see, because we are still in the beginning of September. Let's zoom out and go to the weekly chart, so we can have like a longer time frame and look at the long term, what's going on. So let me zoom out. Let me pull out the bull market support band. So we are on the edge of the bull market support band. We're actually reaching to the bull market support band. Like in the coming days, I expect the bull market support band is going to widen. So you're going to see the gap just like this. Very likely, we might even dip below the band, just like what we saw back in February or March this year. So we would dip below the bull market support band. But the question now is, okay, we know September hasn't been the strongest. We still don't have confirmation whether it's going to be like a positive number or negative. We don't know about that yet. But I'm leaning more like a dip, like a small dip, or even maybe consolidate, like sideways. Not much, maybe, I don't know, like 1% or 2%, something like that. But like the question now becomes whether Bitcoin would go to like the bull market support band, like within this gap here. It's going to slowly widen, as I mentioned. Or let's pull up the 50-week moving average. Or we go back down to the 50-week moving average. which is right here. Like some people will get really scared. Okay, Jamie, like for the 50-week moving average, that will bring us back to 95K Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, as I don't think we're going to go to the 50-week moving average like tomorrow, or it's going to take like a few days or weeks to come. So what I'm trying to say is that, okay, we still have some time to come, and the 50-week moving average is going to slowly catch up and close the gap between the current price and the 50-week moving average. Oh, that's rubbish drawing. So from here to here. So we are right now at 95K. So let's see how this plays out when the 50-week moving average slowly catch up, and if Bitcoin going to go back to the 50-week moving average. I do think we're going to touch to the 50-week moving average, because we haven't have a major correction since quite some time, since February. So back in February, we have this massive weekly candle. Let's see how much it dropped. So yeah, it dropped like, let's say 15%. So 15% in just like one weekly candle. And I do like to use the 50-week moving average as a top indicator, because I go on Twitter and a lot of people are so concerned. Oh my God, it's a top in already. So much bear when Bitcoin, okay, dipped below 110K, which is a psychological number, I'll agree. But another like metric that I like to use, and it has been proven to be very accurate, is that, okay, if we have a weekly candle close below, I mean wick below. So here we wick below, we touch the 50-week moving average. Like wicking or touching is fine. However, okay, so here we wicked below the 50-week moving average, which was last year in August. So we touch it once, touch it twice. Like touching is fine. Wicking doesn't show like a very bearish signal. It's more like it's a tiny correction because the price has been pumping so much. So I won't be concerned even if BTC wick below the 50-week moving average. However, what I would like to see is that, okay, we only touch and don't close below the 50-week moving average. The reason why I stress this so much is because if you zoom out and you go all the way back to 2021, when it happened, like when the weekly candle actually closed below the 50-week moving average, then things gonna start being very concerning to me. So when we zoom closer, that's December 2021, like we wick below once and then twice, 3 times. Well, fourth candle, we actually have a pump. However, we just like keep touching this and testing this 50-week moving average as the support level. So if we close below the 50-week moving average one times, for example here, 3rd of January, and then the second candle we close below the 50-week moving average, then then it's probably the cycle top already. And if we have like 3 weekly candles, just like here, close below the 50-week moving average, then the bull market is done. I'll see you in the next bull run. However, right now, I don't think this is the case at all. Like we are nowhere near the market top, the cycle top. First, we haven't even touched the 50-week moving average. And even though we touched, I would like to see whether it's a wick down or a weekly close down, like close below the 50-week. And if it closed below, it's like a 1 weekly candle or 2 weekly candles. Like these matter a lot. So this is another reason why I'm not concerned. if Bitcoin do drop like in the coming weeks or even coming days, I don't know, like do you reach 50-week moving average about, I don't know, go to 100K, I'll be extremely happy. Like I'll be aping in for sure. So this is one metric I use because I see so much FUD on X right now, and I don't seem to be able to wrap my head around. Like, I don't know why people are talking about this. Okay, so this is one metric that I like to look at. Second of all, is another metric called Mayer multiple. If this is your first time hearing this metric, so basically it's a very simple tool. So you're comparing Bitcoin's current price to its 20-day moving average. So Bitcoin price on top divided by the 200-day moving average. So let's say the current price is 110K and the 200-day moving average is 100K. So 110K divided by 100K, you'll get 1.1. So right now it's about 1.1. So what does this number even mean, right, Jimmy? All right, so how do you read this? So usually when the number below 1, so when you zoom closer, all these number below 1, that means Bitcoin is extremely cheap, because usually like it's a signal to buy and the bottom is already in. Between 1 to 2.4 is more like neutral to bullish. Like above 2.4 is usually like it signals the top. And as you can see, like we are nowhere close to the top. We are only at 1 point, not even 1.1, man. Like 1.09. So there's like so much room for it to grow. And if you look at this, like the MM has historically been higher than today's value 58% of the time. So we still have so much room, like half chance that we're gonna go up, like 50% of chance to go up with the room, growth room. So yeah, this is the metric that I look at a lot. Like, of course, like no metrics is completely accurate. This is quite reliable, about 60 to 70% of the time, to tell you whether the tops is in, whether the bottom is in. It accurately predicted the 2017 and 2021 peaks, and also the 2018 and 2022 bottoms. Not perfect, as like no indicators, no metrics out there are perfect, but it provides a guidelines or a reference for you to look at. You still have to combine with other tools like MVLV, or even like look at the chart, look at the resistance, yada, yada, yada. And other limitation that this has is that it doesn't factor in the diminishing returns. Because like 2.4, okay, is a reference. But what you notice is that every single cycle, we have lower volatility compared to the previous one. Earlier cycles tend to, like, it's so much easier to move the market in earlier cycles because the market pool is so small. So even like a smaller amount of money, you can see like huge fluctuation. But right now it's no longer the case. But this limitation of this metric is that, okay, you see like a downtrend for the MM. However, it doesn't factor in the diminishing return. And as Bitcoin is maturing, the return gonna be like so much lower. But this is one metric that I like to look at. Again, it's like 60 to 70% accurate. So this is another indicator told me that, okay, kind of circle back to the chart. We are nowhere close to the top of this cycle. All right. And kind of, because when I do analysis, I like to look at not just charts, I like to look at the news and some narratives. And I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you know that there'll be a Fed meeting that will happen between 17th of September to 18th of September. So by then, we'll know whether the Fed gonna cut rate or not. And if you look at the expectation of the market, like 97% of people is expecting a rate cut, a 25 basis point rate cut. So what I'm trying to say here is that, okay, a lot of that has probably priced in because of the Jackson Hole event that happened back in August. So if we end up getting a 25 basis point cut, I think it's gonna, the market gonna be neutral or maybe dip a little bit. However, we don't get any rate cuts, which I don't think will be the case. I don't think that will happen. But let's be the bear for a while. If we don't get a rate cut, then for sure Bitcoin gonna have a massive crash. If we end up getting a 50 basis point, then the market is going to be extremely bullish. So yeah, we still have to wait for more confirmation for that. Let's also now look at Ethereum, because Ethereum is at the critical level as well. I drew this 0.04 like days ago. This is another level I'm watching because for months, Ethereum has been, let's close this. Oh, so much better. Okay, so for months, Ethereum has been bleeding against Bitcoin. So once it reached 0.04, I wasn't surprised that there will be some rotation from ETH back to BTC, because this is a critical resistance level. Like, we try to hold support. Let's zoom closer. We are on the daily chart. So we try to hold support. There are technically like 4 candles close above the 0.04 ratio between ETH and BTC. And then we have this like massive correction took place, which I kind of expected. So in the meanwhile, like, I do want to pay a close attention whether we could flip this and close above. But like, unless we have a really bullish narrative, if Bitcoin is dipping, then Bitcoin tends to pull the whole market down just because Bitcoin is the leader. So again, 0.04, there's so much trading volume around this critical level. And other level I'm eyeing on is 0.05. So the reason why it's so important to look at this is because, like, throughout the entire bull run of 2021, Ethereum has always been above 0.05. So that is like the average ratio between ETH and BTC. And because BTC has been the narrative of this cycle, ETH is bleeding and has been bleeding for a very long time. So once, like, if it ever reached to 0.05 rather, I do expect that the rotation gonna happen again. So like a bunch of money gonna rotate from ETH back to BTC. But yeah, there's still something down the line, or just something worth noting at the moment. All right, so moving on to the next piece of news. We have gold hitting new all-time high. So gold surged to 3,500, so $3,578 an ounce. This just happened on 3rd of September, so just yesterday. So it's holding really strong at $3,511. there's so much like support volume at 3,500. It's been up 35% year to date, 40% in the past month, and traders are like saying that this is a breakout after months of consolidation. This is really true. Like if you go to the, we are on the yearly of gold price. So gold has been trading sideways since April. So before we have this like massive breakout, just happened a few days ago. So tokenized gold products like MNT Finance are also gaining traction because like, well, there's a gold all-time high. So question being, why is gold surging when BTC is not doing much at the moment? Okay, so 97% of people already expect a rate cut. Lower rates, that means there will be like bonds will be a lot less attractive compared to hard asset, just like gold. And lower rates, that also means that it's going to be a weaker US dollar. So weaker US dollar makes like buying gold a lot cheaper, especially for foreign countries. And gold has been around for centuries, has been a darling of like emperors for so many years, for centuries. And it has been like a safe haven asset, like a demand, like inflation fears, because we see that inflation is slowly taking up. Central banks around the whole world is also like stacking up gold like massively, especially like BRICS countries. They love gold. So that's another factor that, well, I would say like long-term wise, I think gold will do well. I know this statement gonna piss a lot of people who watch this channel. Okay, we are like crypto folks, so I should be against gold, but like I don't think they are competitors. I think they can complement each other very well. So historically speaking, like when gold rallies, it kind of aligned with BTC, like long-term wise. Okay, short-term maybe. Okay, today I don't see that on the chart, Jimmy. Like gold is rallying, but not Bitcoin. Okay, but long-term wise, they would like usually they align, and the reason why they align because both benefit from weaker USD and lower rates. Institutional investor also treat like BTC as the new digital gold. So it makes sense if they want to diversify to put a portion of that cash, because you know cash is a melting ice cube. So putting a little bit of cash into digital gold, or like if they have been holding for gold for a long time, so it makes sense to put it into digital gold, right? So long-term wise, I think it they both complement each other, and I don't get why people are so pissed when I make that statement. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you guys hold any gold. I think I haven't hold any gold, like a little bit, but I do plan on buying a little bit of gold. Well, that's only for, I would say, security. And I don't like buying tokenized gold. So if I were to purchase gold, I much prefer to hold the actual gold, like a gold bar, instead of some, you know, on paper gold. And don't get me wrong, like gold is hard asset. I think it's gonna be like still gonna be very valuable. But in terms of growth, Bitcoin is still gonna be the number one. It's the fastest horse out of all the investment options in the whole world. It's like Bitcoin is still the darling here. So the reason why I'll say this is that, okay, there's still so much growth, like for Bitcoin to grow, like the room for Bitcoin to grow. We are sitting at $2.2 trillion in terms of market cap. And if we are really aiming for the title of digital gold, if Bitcoin reached $24 trillion for the market cap, then that would put Bitcoin at like $1.1 million a coin. So that's something I like to hear. And if you do believe that, you should be like, okay, you shouldn't be scared of the top already in. You should be stacking up Bitcoin. Of course, not financial advice, but I'll personally do that. And I've been stacking up Bitcoin even throughout the dips. All right, so another reason that I do think is approachable for Bitcoin to reach gold level is that, okay, if you take the growth rate of Bitcoin, like historical compound annual growth rate is about 200% since inception, and gold is only 5 to 10% annually. Even if you being conservative, okay, let's say it's only 14% to 27% compound annual growth rate for Bitcoin, like Bitcoin could still reach gold level in about 10 or 20 years max, like at this rate of growth. So therefore, I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin. Also, we know that institutions are getting in. Well, yeah, I see that the chart is very active right now. Gold is a scam. Okay, all right. I like that comment. All right. We know that institutions are getting into Bitcoin. Just Q2 alone this year for BTC ETF, there's like a massive inflow. So $4.4 billion flow into BTC. Like compared to gold, like, okay, institutions allocate only 1/7 of one, so a small portion to BTC as gold. So yeah, there's like massive growth opportunity that I'm seeing. And if you're watching this channel and if you're watching this live stream, you guys are extremely early and you should be very proud of yourself. All right, so I'm liking what I see. Let's move on to the next piece of news. What do we have here? So Eric Trump becomes a billionaire. How did this happen, man? Okay, so the Trump's family net worth right now is about $5 to $6 billion, and it reached to this level in a matter of days. That's how crazy the whole thing is. Okay, so the main reasons why Eric Trump all of a sudden become a billionaire, there are two main drivers, or the whole family. First is WLFI. Okay, I saw it in a comment. Yeah, you're right, WLFI, and we're going to talk about that in detail. So a token launch, and also there's another reason why we saw this like a massive appreciation for the net worth. Second reason is American Bitcoin company. So it debuted on NASDAQ. So American Bitcoin, backed by President Trump's sons, listed on NASDAQ. That is the second driver. And because of crypto, like the Trump family now makes up like so crypto now makes up the largest share of the wealth of the Trump family. So no wonder Donald Trump has been so friendly to crypto. So WLFI right now is, well, you see that we're at a massive dip, 17 cents. So what is this thing? This is actually a DeFi platform backed by the Trump family. It offers like lending and borrowing. Think of it like Aave, but for this like supposed DeFi platform, you have to do KYC because, well, it's the government. It's the president. So they try to be like comply with the US regulations. So that's why it requires KYC. It's very tailored for American, I'll say. So WLFI, this token is a governance token, meaning holders of this token, they can vote on decisions, and maybe it's not guaranteed, like maybe you'll get like a small revenue of that from this DeFi platform. This tokens was launched on 1st of September, so a few days ago, and the Trump family owns like 20 to 25% of the entire supply, which equivalent to 22 billion tokens, 22 billion WLFI tokens. And Donald Trump personally, he owned 15 billion tokens. All right, like this token, as I mentioned, if you watch my last week live stream, I cover it, but I did make it very clear that I would not participate, which it looks like it was a right decision, because it debuted at the price of 22 cents. You see the spike on this chart, like this spike. I think like some of the exchanges it spiked to over 40 cents before it crashed down 40% in just like a few days. So so much trading frenzy, a lot of people lost money. So in total, traders lost like $30 million. And Andrew Tate actually like got liquidated. So he suffered from a $67,000 loss, which is nothing, I'm sure, to him. Yeah, so the project tried to, like, because it's bleeding, to keep deeping right now. So they try to burn a little token. They burn 47 million WLFI tokens, but looks like it's not reflecting on the price at the moment. So the reason why because I talked about this days ago, I didn't get in, and the reason why is because, like, well, first of all, if you look at the Tron-related token, like this Tron meme coin, look at this chart. It looks like a rug pull, right? It doesn't give me much confidence. And second of all, it's a governance token, and you don't guarantee any revenue of the platform. So I didn't get in. The third reason is that, okay, people will get really pissed. Okay, hey, Jamie, this is not a meme coin. Why are you comparing the official Trump meme coin to a utility coin of WLFI? There's so much utility, right? Well, guys, like, if you look at the current market right now, like, Bitcoin is still the dominant. So alt season hasn't come back yet. Like, until we see confirmation that okay, it's alt season, that okay, we are back to useful coins, utility coins, then I don't think there'll be like much chance for these altcoins to actually pump more than Bitcoin does. And looks like I was right. I know, like, I've watched some YouTubers, and they're massive YouTubers, keep talking up this project, like he aped in so much money because it's like the whole family name tied to this project. But like, okay, I agree with his point. I think what he said is valid. However, I still think that there's so much uncertainty. Like, alt season hasn't completely backed yet. It hasn't even started. It's still bleeding against BTC. So if this thing keep dipping till a really low level, then I might aim in, like, if you put like a few $1,000 to see where it goes. But right now, I personally, I'm not gonna ape in. Let me know, chat, if you guys participated, and what's your strategy? Again, like, I personally, I'm not gonna ape in at this moment, or I don't know, like, if like days after, if it's dipped a lot, then I'll see where it goes. But right now, I decided to let this one out. But at the same time, I do believe that every single individual has the right to invest. I have the freedom to invest wherever they want. So yeah. So if you want to buy, like, be my guest. Okay, so this thing is so controversial because, like, Democrats like to use this against Donald Trump because it's seen as a cash grab, and looks like it has been. I mean, I'm not saying it's a cash grab, but like, the Trump family has, like, it has been enriching the Trump's family a lot. And also there's like a huge insider allocation. It's a little bit unfair to retail. And there are token unlock coming 24 billion of WLFI tokens releasing throughout 2025. So sentiment on X is also pretty bearish. Long-term wise, like Bull are saying that, well, where's this? Okay. Bull are saying that it could reach $1 by the end of 2025 if DeFi adoption grows and Donald Trump policies push it. I don't know about that. I have doubt. Again, I don't hold any WLFI. And I would change my strategy if there are new information, like confirmation that, okay, alt season is starting. Like, otherwise, I'll just like sit on the side and wait, see if there's like more information. Okay, so I mentioned that there are two key drivers, right? The second key driver is the American Bitcoin, so this company. All right, so what is this company? I gotta close this, so annoying. All right, so this company is a Bitcoin mining and also a treasury company. It founded in March via Hut 8 and Donald Trump's son, so Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. So Hut 8 owned 80% of this company, while the Trump family owned 20% of this company. So it went on the debut on 3rd of September. So yesterday it went public via all-stock merger. The stock surged 110%. Well, it's okay. So here's the chart. So the stock surged 110% earlier, and then it settled at 16% plus, which is still really good. But it's not showing here, okay. But there was like a huge spike up and then go back down, because when there's like a launch for new token or stock, this usually happens. There's like huge volatility. I'm not too surprised about that as well. Wait, what's going on? All right. So there you go. So a huge spike up and then it go back down. All right. So that's the stock. But now let's look at the bigger picture about the whole US is being so crypto friendly, and then there's so much friendly regulations from the US. So is America going all in on Bitcoin or crypto? I mean, yeah, there are so many signs of a full embrace under Trump administration or from the Trump family directly. Strategic Bitcoin reserve is still on table. We have like Genius Act, 401k. So 401k can directly invest into Bitcoin or crypto. So I do expect that this is going to push the whole world forward when it comes to Bitcoin adoption. So we know that it's kind of, we're seeing this huge divergence between Asia, Europe, and the US. So Europe right now is prioritizing CBDC, which I don't understand. And the US is prioritizing stablecoins. And as for Asia, there's still so much restriction in certain regions. Like China still ban crypto, but like Hong Kong is fine. Like Hong Kong is completely friendly. So if you watch my stream a few days ago, there's like Bitcoin Asia, and I cover the content a little bit. So Hong Kong is positioning itself to be the crypto hub of Asia. We're trying to compete with Singapore and Dubai. Singapore, very funny, because I'm not sure if I shared this in the last stream, but like when I talk to folks during Bitcoin Asia, so what happened a few years ago is that there's so many talents moving from Hong Kong to Singapore because, so-called Singapore is the financial hub, crypto hub. So people thought Singapore was going to be very friendly, but when they actually get to Singapore, like it's like the regulations is so straight, it's almost stifling projects. So there are a bunch of talents actually moving back to Hong Kong. So yeah, I mean, as a Hong Kongese, I'm very proud to see that. More than happy, actually. And I would say like US is pushing more pressure to Asia, like places in like Hong Kong to innovate. So yeah, I like what I see. All right, so that's for the market updates. Let's talk about the hack, because, all right, this is my first hack that I experienced in my whole life, and I have been in crypto for 4.5 years. So I'll give you guys the context. So this project, Block Agent, approached me on Twitter. So I'm on a brand new handle right now because, okay, Block Agent sent me a DM with this. Because I did my DD, I know they're doing some DEFAI, so DeFi stuff. So they have like 368,000 followers, and a lot of my friends, because this is my old account, but a lot of people that I know follow this account. So I'm speculating that this account got hacked by the hacker, and the hacker DM me on Twitter, and okay, he asked for collaboration because that's usually how it works. So I was like, okay, I'll like hop on a call and know about the project a little bit more. I didn't say specifically that okay, we're gonna collab, but like I would like to know more because I'm open-minded to know about that. I click into the website, like everything looks fine to me. So the hacker sent me his Telegram, and we switched over from X to Telegram. And then we have been talking for like days before actually decided to hop on a call. So he's been texting me about the project. So everything seems legit. And until like, okay, we decided to hop on a call, he told me that he's gonna create a group with his colleague. And then I entered the Telegram group. And so I was talking to like the colleague, they were like introducing themselves, like everything seems normal. And then we hop on a call on Google Meet. So I click on the link on Google Meet. I actually met the person. So I met the hacker for like face to face. He actually turned on his camera. So he's like white guy. He I think he's about like in his 30s, and he wears glasses. So I was like talking to him for like 5 minutes until he told me that he told me that he has to add in his colleague, but his colleague is in China, so he couldn't join the Google Meet link. So he was like, okay, let's use another platform, like web meeting platform. I thought like Zoom would work in China, but he told me, okay, Zoom didn't work in China. Of course, not Google Meet. So he was like, okay, but Lumena, like a really shady platform called Lumena, works. Because like I didn't think too much because there are so many crypto projects that I don't know. And when I actually search online, like Google search, like Lumena web meeting, something like that, it come up as the first link. So the hacker was like, trying to be considerate. He phrased it as, okay, you can create that meeting, like send me the code, and then we can talk, something like that. So when I actually Google search Lumina web meeting, I saw it was the first thing on the Google search. So I click in, and nothing showed. Like I couldn't turn on my camera, no audio. And then the scammer texted me again. And he was like, okay, the audio is not working. Like maybe you just download the software directly to my desktop. So it doesn't take too long, like 2 minutes. And then it's very dumb that I actually downloaded the software. I don't know why I did that. I don't know, like maybe because he reached out to me on a established X account, and many people that I know actually follow that account, and I have done my DD. They have a token already. They launched out the token years ago. And then I don't know. And I actually talked with the scammer, the hacker, like face to face. He actually turned on his camera. So yeah, everything looks like feels legit until Lumena. And even the Lumena, because I Google search Lumena, Lumena web meeting, it was the first thing. So yeah, I thought it was legit, but it's very dumb that I downloaded the malicious software. Once I downloaded at 9 p.m. Hong Kong time. It still didn't work. Like the meeting still didn't work. So like I was like a little bit annoyed because like, okay, we have been doing this for quite some time, but like still we can talk. So I told him to, okay, let's not do this right now. I have other stuff to do. So I ended the call, and then because I ended at around 9 p.m. Hong Kong time, right? And then the hack happened at 10:30, so 10:30 p.m. in Hong Kong time. So all my money from MetaMask being transferred. So they stole 15,000 from my MetaMask, and then they hacked my X. I mean, okay, like this whole thing, of course, I have to take full responsibility. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm only sharing this because I hope you guys don't make my same mistakes as I did. So I'm spreading out the words. Obviously, my first mistake that I did is that MetaMask, I didn't connect my MetaMask to my ledger. So that's the first mistake. Because I do a lot of staking, and because of the convenience, so I value my convenience over the safety, which is not suggested. And second mistake that I did is that the hacker actually stole my X. So that like losing that amount of money, like of course it's not the best feeling in the world, but like what I wasn't happy was that they took my X, and they might use my account to scam even more people on X. And then the mistake that I did with X is that I didn't turn on Google Authenticator, because the hacker tried to steal my YouTube channel as well. But for YouTube channel, I have higher security. I turn on all 2FA. I have passkey. I have Google Authenticator. So even though he tried to steal my YouTube channel, he didn't succeed. But for XYs, because I've been using my X account for years, and then I did my 2FA with my phone number. Somehow they hacked it. I didn't attach the Google Authenticator. So what I learned is that Google Authenticator is really important. So yeah, when you do 2FA, try opt for Authenticator instead of like some phone number or email accounts, because I know that there are other cases, like even some exchanges, like some users of the exchange get hacked because they turn on 2FA, but they don't have Authenticator on. I don't know how those hackers hack into the system, but for me it's really obvious, right? Because I was really dumb to download that software. But like if I had 2FA turned on, Google Authenticator to be specific, if I have Google Authenticator turned on my X account, then I wouldn't have this problem today. So funny enough that I made a report to X that, I'm the original owner of this account, like Gem Crypto. So the hacker has already blocked me. I can't access my original account anymore. So I reported to X like a few times because the hacker changed my password, changed my recovery email. I can't get a hold of that anymore. But X is asking for evidence to prove that I'm the owner of this original account. I'm like, okay, I have screenshots between like the conversations between the hacker and myself. I still have access via streaming service like Restream. So on Restream, I can still access this account. But of course, I can't log into my X right now, like the original Champion Crypto. So I provided that. And also, like, I have Grok installed on my phone. So the phone app is still show that I'm the original owner of Champion Crypto, but yet X is not taking my case. I don't know what more I can provide. I went to the police station to report because, like, okay, I know that like the MetaMask, the money is lost. I accepted that, but like X, I really hope that I can get my original account back. So yeah, like I know some people will be like, okay, why would you put like why first of all, why didn't I connect my ledger to MetaMask, or why didn't I send to Cold Wallet? So my majority of money still in Cold Wallet, like Ledger, Tangent, Engrave. So those, of course, is not affected. Exchange-wise, like I have some trading money because I like to trade around. So like exchange-wise, it's usually with Face ID. So there's like a passkey that is secure. It's just like MetaMask is, yeah, that's my mistake that I accepted. Moving forward, I'm gonna separate all the like my trading Web3 wallet on a separate laptop. That's the mistake I learned. And I'm also gonna connect Ledger to MetaMask. Yeah, please don't value convenience. Yeah, but like I will say like cold wallets is very important. Yeah, learn it the hard way. If you guys don't have Tangent, make sure to use my discount code GEMGEM10. And if you need some updates about cold wallets, what happened in Tangent, you can watch this video. And yeah, that's it for today. And see you guys in the next one.